John basically came out and said Woodruff, so you must have won your argument that you told me about yesterday.
I begged him. I kind of told him that. But like I told you, I was like, I might get vetoed, and I got to go talk to John and Nick and Greg and Jake and our whole staff. But I think he's earned that. I think Trevor's earned that. Ben Bracewell has been around, as long as I have. It seems like so. And then the Dakota, and Preston Brown's our pitcher of the fall. And boy, thank goodness for where we're at least trying to figure it out. That you feel like there's enough pieces to. In whichever way we go, I'm not sure it's going to be the perfect piece. We just got to line something up and go play a weekend and then go from there.
Butch, what would you suggest for somebody to go? When they talk about somebody has 2 quarterbacks or 3 quarterbacks, they don't really have one. They're doing that same thing with catcher with you guys, is that you guys haven't picked one yet. And so a lot of people were like, well, they don't have one then. It doesn't seem like you and John feel that way.
Yeah, and we want to keep them competing too. So I think we want to keep everybody in the mix. I do think there's things that we talk about. I do think, we'll have to make a decision for somebody to catch a first game. Nobody's going to catch a double header, early in the year. You and I both know, and I know where the question's going because it's the same questions we have. If you look at the top half of our league the last few years, they get to the point where, like the boy at Florida, a few years ago, the McCann boy at Arkansas, and even looking at our recent history the last 3 years, you wind up with a primary catcher in Thig Penn, in Slaughter, in Emirati. Even though Emirati and Slaughter were together both years, you wound up with a primary catcher. So I think I'd be nearsighted to try to sell you that we're going to do something different, but until it's revealed, like I said, I think everything changed when we come back from January from the fall with some players. Everything will change once this season starts on Friday, where it's like, man, that guy was rolling, and then it's just different when games start. So,
but I also know you with Wes and Nick last year, and even Mitch. That's your game. Go ahead and call it. Do you feel like you might have to call more stuff from the dugout this year?
I think so early, but I also know that if I gave you 30 games and let you run your show and I was with you and I trusted you, even though you failed at times, I think after 30 games, if I made every decision for you, or I let you make every decision for 30 games, at the end of those 30, you're going to grow more if you made every decision, even if you failed a time or two along the way. So that's the constant struggle, because if I come in and try to say this right now, I'm trying to hold that rope as long as I can, and who's to say I would do a better job? So we fed them some pitches here and there, but at the same time, I think at the end of the day, they will grow at the highest rate by making decisions, even if there's some setbacks or some things that you feel like they maybe didn't do. I think at the end of the day, at the end of the year, if we're in position, that they'll grow more the more decisions they make early.
It's a tremendous honor. For those guys to look at me like that as the guy to go to in tough situations and things like that. But, we don't look at it as necessarily an honor. It is an honor personally, but I don't put myself above anybody else on the team, and they don't think that either. So it's a good even keel as far as how we treat it. It's just really cool for me to, I guess, be named that. But then again, it's nothing major.
Wes, not just you, but a lot of you guys welcomed those expectations last year. How much, I know you guys are welcoming again, how much easier does it make it to deal with? Because, you guys have put this program back where it used to be. How much easier does it make it, y'all handled them last year to handle them this year?
Yeah, I feel like this year going in, it wasn't such a big deal to let people know our expectations. I feel like they know our expectations just of how we played and performed last year and what Coach Cohen has going on now with this program. So it's not something that needs to be made aware. It's something that people know. There's a quiet confidence that goes on in the locker room. So it's just something that, we go about our business every day the same way we do. It's just from the outside looking in, people know what to expect as opposed to us having to tell people what to expect.
You kind of expect to be the big hitter in this lineup this year?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I like to put a lot of pressure on myself. I feel like that's what helps me perform. Being a guy in a tough situation, I like performing at that level. But, I'm going to do whatever it takes to help this team. If that be the role, then so be it. I'm going going to do all I can to help this team.
You know, a lot of time that expectation might become a distraction. How do you guys drown that out and just say, hey, we're out here to have fun and play baseball?
Yeah, like I said, from the outside looking in, people know what to expect, but at the same time, you know, we go about our business the same way every day. We get there, we work hard, and it's just a routine that we fall into, and it's a hard-working routine that we get used to on a daily basis, and we treat it that way every day.
For you, and in the fall too, I mean, this has been a tough battle.
I mean, all really, they're all really consistent, and they don't do too much to make the plays, and if they make an error, they respond from it. So it's up for grabs right now because all of them are real good. So.
Well, I know everybody was able to see Calhoun and Britton and you. What have you seen out of Seth Heck? Because nobody's really seen him other than at scrimmages and things like that. What's some things you're seeing from him?
Consistency at shortstop, doing the little things right, not trying to overdo something. But what I see is someone that's really consistent. That's what we need in the infield, is just consistency.
You've probably been asked this already, but going into this year, how much more comfortable are you compared to last year's, having the season here under your belt, not just a season of baseball, but being around everything?
I mean, it's more comfortable. You kind of, after going through a year of all the games and going to Omaha, you know what to expect. And you know what it takes to get to the top. So it's going to be more comfortable. You're going to be able to respond from your failures a little better. So last year was a little different, but this year, having a year under your belt, it's going to be a little more comfortable.
You turned into pretty quickly one of, if not the most consistent guy, especially getting on base all last season. Is that just you being good at baseball, or is that luck?
It's just trying to have the mentality of getting on base somehow in some way for your team. Because if you can get on, I mean, there's a lot of things that you do. Not as well as just hits, but walks and getting hit. Just trying to do something for your team to win a game. So that's all I'm worried about.
This is a little random. Trevor Fitz, I know we'll see. He gets done pitching, he's coming over to high five y'all rather than let anyone come to him. He seems like he's kind of one of those part of the team type things.
He's a real good teammate. He's always there for you, even when it's down for him. He's going to be there for you. So he's really proud for us to be behind him playing defense. So he just likes to shows how much he likes us by just being at the end of the dugout, high-fiving us.
Great big security blanket wearing number 35, because he can make a lot of infielders look good.
If I feel like if you're gonna miss, you miss out, because you probably won't miss that way. It's actually a huge help having someone that's 6'5", the wingspan. It's definitely you feel a little bit more confident when you're throwing over there.
It's one of the biggest
It's
one of the biggest transitions from middle infield to a corner like that, the kind of do-or-die nature of the corner, in that you've almost got to gamble and take a chance where things have more time to watch things and wait for things to develop at the middle.
Yeah, it's a lot more reaction, just reacting to the ball and then getting your feet set. But yeah, sometimes, it's either going to, most of the time it's either going to be a rocket at you or it's going to be a little slow roller, so you just got to be ready for anything.
Talk about your batting. You picked up in this preseason, watching you out there from where you were in fall and where you were in the season. You just keep getting on base.
Well, I've always been a patient hitter, and it's just my approach hasn't really changed no matter what level I've been at, so I don't think that'll ever change.
These are pitchers that know you, but you're still getting walks off those guys.
It just happens. I don't really know. I've always got on base a lot. And, sometimes the guys are just, I'll give a 3-0 count before it doesn't really matter. It just kind of happens.
Coach Cohen wouldn't commit to any place in the order, but do you see yourself there in that 1-2 kind of spot again?
Like you said, that's coach's decision. I'm fine with wherever he puts me.